Now on GMU at 5, it's Inauguration Day. We have team coverage of the historic transition of power and what you can expect.
Plus, the Salt Lake City School District voting to bring students back to class. Which grades are coming back and when?
Live from Utah's first TV station, Good Morning Utah at 5 starts now.
Good morning, Utah. I'm Sarah Martin.
And I'm Brian Carlson. The time is 5 o'clock on this Wednesday. Today begins a new chapter in American politics. Joe Biden will take the oath of office to become the 46th president of the United States. This is a live look at the nation's capital, where we'll see the presidential inauguration. It comes 2 weeks after pro-Trump supporters stormed the same steps to prevent today's transfer of power.
We've got team coverage for this historic day. ABC4's Jared Jatnini live at the Utah State Capitol, where law enforcement preparing for protests. But we begin with ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
2 weeks since rioters stormed this building, and now the Capitol, here where we are standing, is a fortress. The top priority here today is a peaceful transfer of power as President-elect Joe Biden takes his oath of office. In an inauguration unlike any other, Joe Biden is set to become the 46th president of the United States. The president-elect opening his inaugural events with a solemn ceremony at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. 400 lights to honor the more than 400,000 American lives lost in the pandemic. A sobering reminder of the crisis facing a divided nation as he takes office.
To heal, we must remember.
The president-elect will start his day at church, joined by congressional leaders from both parties. Today there will be no parade or inaugural balls. Instead of crowds, 200,000 flags will wave from the National Mall. Sources tell ABC News Biden will project a message of unity in his inaugural address. Speaking from the same sacred place that was stormed by pro-Trump rioters exactly 2 weeks ago. The Capitol is now surrounded by armed Guard members, barricades, and checkpoints. 25,000 National Guard members on hand to ensure a peaceful transfer of power. In a farewell video, President Trump wished Biden well, without naming him.
We inaugurate a new administration and pray for its success.
The president spent his final hours at the White House issuing a slew of pardons, including to former advisor Steve Bannon. Trump will break 150 years of tradition by not attending the inauguration. But Biden and Harris will be joined by former Presidents Obama, Clinton, and Bush after the swearing in to lay a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery's Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The former vice president will return to the White House this evening as commander-in-chief, prepared to issue a series of executive orders undoing some of Trump's signature policies.
Reporting soon-to-be Vice President Kamala Harris will be sworn in using a Bible from the Supreme Court's first black justice, Thurgood Marshall.
And here in Utah, state leaders are preparing for possible protests surrounding today's inauguration. So what can we expect? For that, ABC4's Jared Jatnini is live at our state capitol with our story. Good morning, Jared.
Because of the first day of the session, but today, because of the inauguration and the governor's executive order, both UHP and the Utah National Guard are here for security reasons. Now, here's video from a smaller protest from over the weekend. Officials say this afternoon protests are planned at all 50 state capitals from Utah to Washington, D.C. Heightened security. Local law enforcement agencies are prepared for armed protesters. During an ABC4 News town hall, we sat down with Utah Senator Mitt Romney and Representative Chris Stewart discussing where our country goes next under the Biden administration.
What can happen is what's happened in other nations that have faced a crisis or a decline or division, and that is great leaders.
That we could work with this president on, and I think that would assure the American people that there are areas of common interest and that Washington isn't so broken that there's no hope of ever accomplishing anything anymore.
While it's still unclear whether Senator Mitt Romney will attend this afternoon's inauguration, Representative Stewart wanted to attend in D.C. this afternoon, but says he and his wife were exposed to COVID-19 and they are experiencing symptoms, in good health, but still taking all necessary precautions. Now, as there's still a lot of uncertainty regarding Inauguration Day here at the Capitol, UHP says new security measures that are implemented today and this week could last until the future. Now, coming up next, we will have more on whether our two representatives, Representative Stewart and Senator Mitt Romney, their decisions and outlooks on whether to impeach President Trump. Reporting live, Jared Jutnany, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Jared. We'll be covering Inauguration Day all morning long here on GMU. Coming up at 6, we talk with the Hinckley Institute of Politics about what we can expect from the Biden administration. Also on Good Morning Utah at 6, former Utah Congressman Ben McAdams will join us live from the nation's capital to talk about security surrounding the inauguration.
Let's get a first look at your weather here this morning. Erica, what are we waking up to today?
We are waking up to very nice conditions along the Wasatch Front, Brian, because we have lots of sunshine. Today happened to be my pick of the week, and I'm loving it. Right now, our colonial flag is not doing too much as far as the breezes go. The weather ball is so importantly red. Again, my pick of the week. Temperatures are climbing and climbing today and tomorrow, and the winds will be pretty much calm. We're seeing clearing skies, lots of sunshine in the forecast. Right now, we're at 22 degrees in Salt Lake City, 22 for Provo, 26 for Cedar City, 46 for St. George, but St. George, you do have a mix of sun and clouds for today, and I'm not going to completely clear you of some AM isolated showers. Satellite and radar image picking up on some remnant clouds moving through parts of Kane County. It looks like the southeastern pocket of San Juan County also seeing some clouds, and Washington County as well as Iron County. We're going to track this for you because it's still a little active farther south. Now, a quick look at our air quality. Of course, anytime we're talking about fantastic weather, we also have to think about that inversion, especially locally here. We'll talk more about that air quality the next time we meet up. In the meantime, back to you.
All right, thank you much, Erica. And new overnight, the Salt Lake City School District voted to send middle and high school students back to the classroom. The 5-hour-long meeting ended late last night with the school board voting 6-1 to return to in-person learning. Teachers in the district began receiving COVID-19 vaccines last week, making the switch to in-person learning safer. Middle and high school students are expected to return to class February 8th, which qualifies teachers to receive that state stipend.
Beginning today, you can get a rapid COVID-19 test at the Salt Lake International Airport. Express Check is opening a COVID-19 testing site in Concourse A right after that security checkpoint. Passengers can get rapid molecular tests and standard nasal swab tests. Those rapid test results will come through while travelers are waiting for their flights. They do cost about $200 though. Tests are available Thursdays through Mondays from 9 to 5.
And new this morning, the first presidency and apostles over the age of 70 for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints have now received the COVID-19 vaccine. President Russell M. Nelson, his wife, and other top church leaders all got the shot. The first presidency released a statement on vaccines saying this, quote, "As appropriate opportunities become available, the church urges its members, employees, and missionaries to be good global citizens and help quell the pandemic by safeguarding themselves and others through immunization."
Let's get to your morning update on COVID-19 here in Utah. Our Department of Health reported more than 1,300 new cases. That brings our state total to more than 326,000. More than 172,000 vaccines have been administered. 573 patients being treated right now in our hospitals. 7 more Utahns have died. Our death toll 1,507. Let's look at our last 7 days now. We are averaging more than 2,000 new cases per day. That is coming down. That's that green line on your screen. Our testing positivity rate also dropping, now 19.9%.
At the time now, 5:08. Coming up on GMU, police reform meetings come to a halt. Hear why the Utah legislative session is playing a major role in that move. And
a couple of big winning streaks on the line. The Jazz try to make it 6 in a row. Utah State goes for its 11th straight win. We've got the action coming up in your morning sports report.